And we are back. People, welcome. We are back. It's working. How you all doing? Sandy, welcome. Hey, Donnie, Nex, Mineralin, Crow, welcome. Hey, Nip. And of course, Myth is here. And Nex. Awesome. The Compass, hello. How are you all doing? I'm doing great. A little bit tired, but other than that, I'm good. Oh, you got the sound, Nep? Yeah, for the moment there, I was thinking there's something wrong with the stream, but it seemed to work all right. Hey, Donnie. Hey, Ascent. Welcome. So, guys, how is everything going? Have you guys seen the new update that is coming, and some of the stuff they have showed with the cushions, for instance? What do you think about that? I'm actually interested to hear what you guys, if you have any thoughts. You have built everything, single one of my builds in your world. That is incredible. You are amazing. The cushions are cool. Yes, I mean, so for me, I usually think about the blocks I usually really like are the blocks that just help build the exterior of buildings, kind of the main structures. So I mean, for cushions, the one thing, so I think they're amazing in what they can do, but I think, I don't know, because they're entities, they might be a bit inconvenient for kind of render distance. Hey, Stonks, welcome. Good to see you here. Yeah, they might be a bit too. I mean, they will fade, at least for builds like mine, where I rather big builds, and want to see everything from afar too. I've heard something about them actually. I've heard that they will scale up the render distance for entities. Maybe I'm not sure where I've heard it, but maybe someone told me or something. I can't remember. Steve can finally rest after 17 years. Yeah. Oh, is the music too loud? Maybe a little bit. Let's turn it down just a tad. Oh, you have to leave, Compass. No worries. I'll see you in another stream. I gotta make a tutorial for Crystalline Castle. I mean, so I love that build. It's one of my favorites. But the problem with Crystalline Castle is that it was made up on the spot. Everything is just really, it's not messy, but it is difficult to translate into a tutorial. So I can't promise anything. Yeah, it's good. The cushions are great for kind of cozy interior stuff, all sorts of things when it comes to, yeah, where you will be up close either way. I'm just a little bit hesitant to use like banners and stuff like that, entities for exteriors in general. Hello from India. Hello, welcome. Let's see, what do we have? What do we have here? Yeah, I mean, today I think will be more of the same. Me building. Hopefully I can. So I titled the stream if I can finish the exterior. I'm not sure about that. I mean, we'll try. How do you feel about the seating? So in general, that you can sit on cushions, or do you mean the seating here in where I'm sitting? This seating is from IKEA, and it's rather, I mean, it's better than what I used to have, but it's not really that good. I could upgrade this. I'm guessing you mean the cushions. I think it's rather nice. I haven't seen the functionality when it comes to kind of. I mean, it's just you can just sit on it by right-clicking like you usually can when you use mods, I'm guessing. So I think that's awesome, definitely. I mean, Sander, you mentioned that a lot of the stuff that they have added are things you generally use with mods anyway. So for you, it might not be that different. But I think it's cool to have these things as kind of vanilla things that all people can use. I think that's awesome. For the tutorial, you can have it to where the person makes the mountains like you did it with the arch tower. I mean, the problem with building mountains in Minecraft for a tutorial is that it would take so long to kind of recreate that. So the best thing, I mean, I could go in more depth on how to kind of go about creating it like on a macro scale, but I think depending on which build you mentioned, the arch tower. For that, I think in that video I actually go through kind of the idea of how to do it and what to aim for, because you have to build the towers first and then kind of see where the mountain will meet the tower. And I think just looking at the first video about those mountains will be helpful. Yeah, it is very it is difficult. It is. So Neb, are you asking about, are the two towers on either side of the bridge finalized? No. I mean, nothing is finalized in this build at all. So just to give you a kind of an idea of what is missing. So generally, of course, texturing and kind of creating the gradient from the mountain upwards, and that will be a thing, probably a stream, just one stream alone, or maybe multiple. I don't know. Hopefully, just one stream. But I'll always want to do this at the end, so I have this clean version first, and then we can texture it. But for everything else, I mean, all these kind of walls here, they need to be detailed, and I mean, the shapes are there more or less. I think they are probably more or less there. We need to do something about the top here, also with the towers. But in general, all of this is not. I mean, a lot of this I will add windows, but I think for a lot of these walls here, just adding the texturing will give so much to this part of the build. It doesn't have to be that much more detailed. I think that's actually okay. Other than just adding windows, I think that's the texturing will kind of handle the rest. Hey DP, welcome. You missed the start. The bridge looks awesome. Thank you. But generally it is quite. I mean, it is fairly kind of minimalist as it is now. It's only 2 main block types, so all of this needs to be kind of worked on. Halloween, you're not late. I haven't even started building yet, so you are definitely not late. I usually start building kind of way too late. Yeah. Okay, guys, let's see. Let's do what looks best from this point of view here first, because then I can trick people into thinking, when they see the next thumbnail, I can trick them into thinking that it's done, while it really isn't. But I think I will try to focus on the stuff we can see first. So that means this tower over here, and these over here, and maybe this the staircase tower here, the main staircase here, just the outside of it, basically. Yo, 6man, it's Cross from Discord. Saw you were live, hopped on fast. That's awesome, Cross. Hey Rebecca, welcome. You're not late. You're not late at all. I have just been introducing myself, or well, not really, but I have well, to people who, I'm guessing most of you know who I am, but to those that don't, I am Six Wings. Minecraft YouTuber and builder. And water enjoyer. Welcome to the stream. Yes, Sandy, welcome to the stream. Okay. I'll just do a bit of lazy building over here while people join. So I usually like to kind of add these main kind of lines and kind of sections of the build. So if I have something like this, I try to kind of use this for not all, but at least some of it. So something like this could be used on the tower too. Well, let's start with just main blocks. Hi, I love your builds. Golden Tiger Warrior, thank you so much. That is nice of you to say. In a way, it can be a bit... Sometimes you kind of... I've said this multiple times, but when you're building, sometimes everything can feel a bit too kind of simple, and you build these kind of really low detailed walls, and yeah, this is just part of building that you kind of need to. I mean, you need to start from somewhere, and I think it's fine to. I'm on part 2 right now. Part 2 of what? Oh, the Sanctum. Oh, awesome! I hope it's it makes sense. Everything I talked about in that video. It can be a bit difficult. I know that. Let's see. I'm really just freestyling this one. It's not. I don't have a plan for the detailing. I just take my cues from what's already there, and then yeah, just if we change it, we change it. This is just to get going, get the ball rolling. So, guys, what have you been doing today? Are you having trouble with the heat wave, or is it bad where you guys live? Not where you live, Sandy, but for other people on the northern hemisphere. Melting. Myth, are you melting? Okay. I'm sorry to hear that. It's right here where I am, it has been warm today, but it's kind of this almost kind of sweet spot where it's not too warm, and inside here it's actually quite nice. So I'm a bit lucky that way. It's not too warm. Let's see. Okay. 24 degrees for Donny. That is, I'm guessing Celsius. So. And Rebecca, you're dying too? Not dying? Okay, you're not dying. That's awesome. And Stonks, you're doing all right so far, but far enough west that I'm dodging it, I think. Oh, okay. Yeah, in Western... Okay, this is my limited knowledge of the US, that on the west coast compared to the east coast, it's more dry, so it isn't that... it's more bearable. That's what I've heard. I've only myself been on the east coast, and that was quite unbearable. That was a summer in New York and some other kind of the bigger cities in the US, and the heat was just it was just too much. I don't know if the heat was trapped between the skyscrapers or in general, or if it was the humidity. I'm not sure, but it was way too unbearable. Yeah. One thing I've noticed is that you use blocks that are mostly easy to obtain in survival, while others should not easy in large scale. Is that if it's something I'm considering or just happens naturally, cross, that is a good question. I actually think that sometimes I don't do that because for the Sanctum, for instance, I used mangrove logs for. I think I used mangrove logs for. What was it? Was it for some of the inner walls that are completely unaffected? It didn't really make sense that I did it. For some reason I did, and you can easily just use something that is much easier to obtain because it's just the logs. They're not stripped or anything. So, I mean, the color does have a kind of a. It has a style to it, but it's yeah. But in general, I think yeah, probably maybe I'm not sure actually. So usually what I do is to kind of keep everything a bit on the minimalist side when it comes to the amount of different kinds of kind of blocks I'm using. So usually, if you can see this for the Sanctum, for Crestling Castle, for most of my builds, I use 2 main colors basically, or even less than that. Sometimes just 1, but mainly 2. In general, 2 main colors, and yeah, I just do that, and so I'm not even sure if this is what I want to go for, but let's try this. Yeah, and then I usually for the roofs, one color. It's the same with the Emerald Cathedral, more or less the same. Hey, it actually fit with the opening here. That's nice. It's going to be 86 Fahrenheit, Nancy, Eastern Washington State in the US. That is, I mean, I'm not exactly sure how much that is. Maybe someone can tell me, but I'm guessing it's fairly warm. Yeah. I've heard about the forest fires in California, and yeah. Oh, what am I doing? I'm trying to just have a look with shaders just to see how everything comes together. But just what we added here with this one here, even just that, just adding these pillars, and maybe when the staircase is added, we can kind of add the windows so it matches the staircase. So just looking at this and then adding texturing, you almost don't need any more than this. It can be a challenge, Nancy. Yeah, I can definitely imagine. I can definitely imagine that. Okay, you know what? I want to do a roof here that is something like, maybe something like this. Let's see if this works. This works. I'm not sure yet. You've been on the West Coast all your life. To be honest, wildfires are just routine part of summer. And okay, for me, if there's no smoke in the air, it isn't summer yet. Well, that sounds dangerous. So I hope you're staying in and you're safe. I know that it isn't a problem, a big problem, probably usually for people in homes, but I'm not even sure about that, because wasn't there an incident last year, or when was that, where a lot of people in Hollywood, or what? Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe there was an incident where a lot of homes burned. So it actually affected people on a large scale in LA or something. But yeah, if that's the case, that sounds horrible. Yeah, LA got a pretty bad. Yeah, that's definitely not something we ever experience here in Scandinavia. We are safe from tornadoes and from burning forest, burning trees. Okay, 30 degrees. Okay, but then again, if it's in Washington, or I don't know if you said Washington State or Washington D.C., but if it is on the East Coast, then that might actually be a lot compared to 30 degrees in LA. Let's see here. I have a fast place mod. It's so convenient to just you can just build so much faster. Never had to deal with hurricane and tornadoes, just earthquakes and fire. Yeah, so again, this is just from what I hear. Tornadoes that is more kind of in the middle of the U.S. or like roughly. That's a broad statement, I know. Oh, you get fires, Nancy. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Okay, let's try and see this. Yeah, let's try this one. But yeah, when it comes to the new updates, okay, just 1 second. I think it's cool, especially for. Especially for decoration, furniture, stuff like that. I think that's really cool. But I don't know if in a way I'm not. I mean, for general building, I don't think I will use it that much. The cushions, but we'll see. Maybe I will. It's yeah, it depends. It's just that I really like to have not use entities because of the spawn issue, or despawn issue. Or it's not despawn, it's the render distance. Six, do you know what the next tutorial is going to be? The next tutorial will be the first cathedral. It was the second highest rated one in the poll. It's easy to make a tutorial for. It's not easy to make a tutorial for, definitely not, but it's easier than Utgard. The cathedrals in general are easier than Utgard, or easier in general than castles, simply because they are much more symmetrical, they're much more organized, they're much more, how would you put it, centered around simple designs that are kind of scaled up, so you can get away with a lot of repeating and stuff like that. So yeah, it's I think it's a good one to do now. Even though, I mean, people are asking me about the Golden Palace and the Echelon. I think Echelon will be there at least within the next 3 tutorials. I'm not sure if it's the next one after the first cathedral, but it's definitely higher up on the list. I think it's high time. So Sandy, you were saying in South Africa you don't have any natural disasters. There was a water shortage in Cape Town for a while. Other than that, no tornadoes, no tsunamis, no seasonal wildfires. We have mild winters too. Oh, that's awesome. That's great to hear. Yeah, I mean, in Denmark, it's. I mean, we are. So the difference between Denmark and Sweden and Norway, or difference between Denmark and Sweden and Norway is that Denmark is. We are much less prepared for winter in Denmark than the two other than Norway and Sweden. They are much more prepared for stuff like that. Whenever there's just a bit of snow in Denmark, everyone freaks out and no one can get to work and everything is just, yeah. It's a weird thing. I think it's because Denmark means to Dane, mark, that means field, because Denmark is very flat, like the Netherlands, whereas Norway and Sweden is mountainous. So they kind of have a lot of snow kind of naturally and are just much more prepared. At least Norway. I'm guessing Sweden is more prepared at least than Denmark. But we don't have any kind of issues other than that. It's more about being prepared and having the right kind of infrastructure and, well, not infrastructure per se, but just getting the roads cleared of snow and stuff like that. I don't understand English, but I'm watching from Japan. I love your builds, and I always look forward to your videos. Keep up the amazing work. Thank you so much. What can I say in Japan? Arigato. Hey, stay Staff Ready. Welcome. Good to see you here. Okay, for now, let's just let's see. Do we want to do? Let's just keep this as it is right now, and then just get going with some of the other stuff. So the staircase will go all the way up and kind of feed, or kind of feed. It will connect to all these floors inside, and also for the top one here. And I don't think so. We will have the main hall from this floor level here and up. And I think it could be cool to kind of have this instead of having another room up here, like an atrium. Maybe have this be part of the main room here in some way or another. Maybe you could, I'm not sure yet, but maybe the construction here will kind of be part of how the room is, kind of the aesthetics of the room, and then perhaps some kind. I'm not sure yet. I'm just thinking out loud. We don't have to do this now. I'm just thinking of what we could do. But yeah, for this one over here, for now, let's just detail this one, and then we can move on to maybe the top or the other side. Yeah, Chelsea, hey, I have fans all over the globe. I'm not surprised. Thank you so much. That's sweet of you to say. But yeah, people come from all kinds of places. When I look at the people that watch me on YouTube, it's mostly people from America. But then again, that's just also because of how many people in the US use like YouTube in general. So, but yeah, let's see. Yeah, there are all kinds of people. I actually think I will not sure if I should add more volume to this one or subtract, because okay, so Acorn, who was here last time, she suggested that I could make a redstone elevator going up and down. And oh, hey, Dreadnought, you are a hero. You're my hero. You are super chatting me. That is incredible. And you did that last time. I remember you did it too. Thank you so much. Hey, I can't wait to see the cathedral. I'm trying to build a Camelot, and I was wondering if you had any advice for building large castles. I mean, I have tutorials on large castles. It really depends, because the castles I'm making, they are more like fantasy castles, and fantasy castles are usually inspired by kind of late or kind of 19th century castle designs, which is basically what the Disney castles were inspired by. These large, extravagant, and richly detailed castles. But they weren't made in a time where they needed that much of a. Of course, they were protected, but it was more of a statement more than a actually functional castle in the same way as they made castles back in during the Dark Age or the Middle Ages, the Dark Ages, yeah. But yeah, I mean, you can try, and it's difficult to tell, because if you want to build something that's a little bit closer to kind of real castles, or castles that were made back then, like functional castles, those are much simpler in design and much more kind of functional instead of aesthetic. or at least that's not the goal. But I would say that the good thing about castles in general in Minecraft is that you don't have to worry too much about everything lining up. Imperfections is a really good tool to just embrace with castles, whereas with cathedrals, because those are the main two archetypes of buildings I'm making: cathedrals and castles in some form or another. And they're kind of the polar opposite, because in a lot of ways cathedrals are much more kind of pristine and precise, and everything is kind of made up of things or elements that are repeated, and so I would say just embrace it, being a little bit more loose with the things you use. Maybe even think about how you could, so you can add history to a build, to a castle, maybe destroy some of it and build it up with other blocks, just to show that it was kind of, it has some kind of history, something happened, and so there's a lot of things you can add in regards to that. But other than that, look up different castle designs and tutorials on YouTube, not only from me, but from other people, just to see what is out there. What are you saying, Stars? I feel you could easily turn the open column area on the tower you're working on into an observatory of sorts. Yeah, maybe, yeah. Okay. Hey Adam, welcome. Hello, I already built 3 of your castles and they look great. Thanks for the great tutorials. You're so welcome. I'm glad you did that, and I'm impressed. But just to go back to what I said earlier, so Acorn Bandit was last week. She's a streamer. She mentioned that she actually gave me a really cool tutorial for a redstone elevator that we could place here, for instance. And this elevator, I haven't done any redstone elevators before, but it basically takes you up and down, and then so this one would be to perhaps go from the bottom floor and all the way up to the main hall. It could be that. And then for the new update, I don't know if you've seen it, but they added so the cushions, if you line them up on trapdoors, on vertical trapdoors, you can actually right click and then simply use it as an elevator. You will pop up all the way up, so it can actually be used as sort of an elevator. So that's also something that could be added, but it's just one cylinder, one by one. So it isn't. It's more of a functional elevator that isn't really. I mean, it's not something I would use kind of as decoration. It's more of an alternative to a water elevator, basically. But yeah, so we have the staircase over here, so we could have the elevator here in this one. I think that could be cool to have. And then I talked about more of a from a lore perspective, to have a lift that goes from the outside, and that could be placed out here somewhere. So maybe dig down here on this part or something like that. I'm not sure. Or it could be like, so if you've seen Game of Thrones, you have I think the elevator it almost goes up the wall, like the wall at the Castle Black, but I think it does it at an angle almost. So we could make something where it goes straight down here and then actually follows the terrain in some way or another. That could actually be quite cool. But we'll wait with that until a bit later, I think. So yeah, I'll just finish some of a bit of detailing here, and then we can see what is missing. And the good thing about these, kind of towers that they don't need windows, like for the elevator and stuff, is that it's basically that they don't need windows, so you can just decorate the outside without thinking about doing much of anything other than just adding just a bit of a bit of detail. But actually, I think I will actually move these walls inside here because I want the outside wall to align with this column here. So instead of moving the wall out, I will move the wall in and then create detail on the inside, basically. Yeah, let's try that at least. Dippy, as a real-life architect, you probably have a huge mental archive of references, buildings in your head. So I do have that in some way or another. So which means that when I build a cathedral or anything really, I don't always need a reference. I just build from what I already kind of know, kind of the archetypes. If you know kind of the details of a cathedral or one build or another, you kind of internalize that, and you can kind of make it without really using references. But I actually do use references for some things. I do that. Like the first cathedral was one of those builds where I actually took quite a lot of inspiration for the main towers from a French cathedral. But yeah, it depends. It really depends. I feel the things that helps me the most when building is looking for a lot of the images of real buildings and then take inspiration from that. Yes, and I do that too. It's not like I'm not doing that. I definitely do that. The difference is, for me and a lot of other builders, I think, is that, and I want to make a video of that. I have talked about this in some videos, but I want to make a video about it, and that is my inspiration is mostly for the overall shapes and kind of larger scale designs. But when it comes to detailing, I usually, I would say I usually just convert real life buildings into what I call Minecraft detailing. What is that? So Minecraft detailing is simply stuff that I find pleasing up close in Minecraft. So this is a bit rough, but something like this, where you have a clear kind of arch that is made out of simple blocks, whereas other builders might use more kind of esoteric blocks, more kind of plants and lecterns, different things that are a bit more kind of where they come closer to actually recreating real life. So they kind of lean more towards having it be more realistic in that sense. Where my builds are much more, I try to keep the overall shapes and details realistic, but only from afar. And then up close, I try to, because I want my builds to be explorable and pretty up close. So I want them to be explored up close, and so I don't want to kind of create something that only works on Instagram. And this might sound like I'm saying that people that do this shouldn't do it, or that I have something against it, but because I really don't. I think there's so many fantastic creators that do this, and for what they are doing, it's incredible. It's just not how I like to build usually. So yeah, it's 100% just preference what I kind of like doing. Can't wait for the cathedral. That's awesome to hear. So I'm not sure yet, because I hope you can wait a bit longer, because the thing is, I have the next 3 weeks for me will be so we're having the summer holidays about this from tomorrow and 3 weeks from tomorrow, and this means that, well, just 1 second, I just need to see this from afar just to okay. I think it's fine. No, what I was going to say was the next three weeks will be a little bit more difficult for me to work a lot. I will try to work most days, but it will be less than. I will still stream as much as I can, but just my general. I usually work full time on my channel, in one way or another, if I'm not working on my main job, and but the problem is the thing is that I'm working on a new build, and this build is bigger than anything I've ever built. Much bigger. It's some of its parts of the new build will be almost like well, this doesn't work. Will be builds, like minor builds in and of itself. So it takes a long time. I do use some methods that makes it easier to do, and I think it is going well, and I will be getting far with the build just throughout the rest of July. I will, but I mean it is really it's a really, really big build, and the video is very ambitious too. So from a realistic standpoint, I might actually just make that video, and then at the back end of that, make the next one I have in mind, and that one will be the Halloween video, which means 2 videos from now until the 1st of November, basically. I don't think that will be the case, but I mean, both builds are extremely big. The next one will be maybe not quite as big, but really big too. So I will try to kind of maybe try to get the tutorial in between, or at least start on the tutorial. And maybe because it's more of a wait, not sure I want this. Well, okay. Yeah, I won't be able to make the entire tutorial before I do the Halloween build, but I might start on it and start that tutorial series, and then come back and finish it afterwards. Maybe I'm not sure yet, because I'm guessing because it's more of a it's an easier build to translate into a tutorial. It might also be that might actually be good, because then I can kind of be a little bit more kind of use less time on each episode, and then have more time doing other stuff. Torben, I appreciate your creativity. Thank you so much. That's nice of you to say. Tutorial for this build you're building right now. At some point, maybe. I mean, yeah. I say this all the time, but it's I will always be behind with tutorials, because it is just really time consuming, because of the thing is, I don't want to do tutorials like a new build and then make a tutorial for it. I want to make more new builds that I'm making tutorials, just because of the creativity that is involved in creating something new. I need that, and it's not like that I don't like doing tutorials. I actually enjoy it, and I do kind of feel a certain level of pride being one of the only ones on YouTube that, or at least for these big kind of tutorials, there's not many, at least. That's what I keep hearing. There are some, and there are some really good ones. But I kind of take pride in that, and I have begun liking it more and more, because I kind of get to weave in my own kind of little lessons and kind of things I want to kind of talk about within a tutorial. So I try to kind of almost kind of make small video essays in the intros, just to add some info and some creativity to the videos, because video making in general, I really love that. So that is definitely something I should keep doing. Take your time. Yeah, Jeffrey, thank you. I have no choice other than just taking my time, because everything I'm doing is really time consuming. So sending the new build is really massive. It's awesome. It is taking a long time. Yeah, I've showed you a bit. Actually. But it is, I'm kind of torn, because I do feel like showing more people the build, but it's also, I do want to keep, I do like the surprise, kind of surprising people, so I definitely don't want to leak too much at this point. I follow the channel because of the scale of the builds. Not many people are doing this. Yeah, I mean, there are, of course, the builders that do really large builds, like a shovel and Trixie blocks. But in some ways, I don't think. I think it's kind of different, the way they approach it. Yeah, at least I think it's kind of different, because they. How can you put it? They almost work on a different philosophy. Everything I'm doing, I try to do in a world where you can use the build as a as kind of part. I mean, you almost see the build as part of the world in a way that makes sense. I try to think of my builds as part of the world, where people can download the builds or recreate them at the spot I made them, and then just play in survival, and kind of, so they're part of the world in a way where, where some of it might even be, how to put it. I think I try to strike a balance between our builds being having some lore and interest in outside of Minecraft, but then also work as a Minecraft build with all the that entails. I mean, with having farms, having kind of rooms that work as functional rooms in a survival Minecraft world, basically. I think you're right, Myth. Most people kind of end up here because of the scale of it. I think that is, if that's what you mean. Okay. What am I doing here? I am carving into a wall that isn't... I mean, what is this? You know what? Let's wait with this part here, because I'm not sure what this is gonna be anyway. What block is that? This is the Cinnabar bricks. They are a new block. I just updated the world last time, I think it was, or was it the time before? So it's the newest block. And you know what? Just saying the word updating made me reminded myself that I should record, because I forgot. And the irritating thing about Flashback is that it doesn't record backups, or at least not from the beginning of recording. If I had replay mod, which hasn't been updated to this version yet, it will be when you click record. Even though you do it later, it will actually record in the background, and then you can go into the it's called the backup folder and find the raw recording that will have recorded everything from the start. That's actually a really neat feature. So if I forget, I can always go back. But now I can't, unfortunately. But yeah, just looking at this, I think this is a really nice level of detail for this build. And then with texturing added later, I think this is awesome, really. Yeah, I think we don't need that much more just at this point. So let's go over here. just to show you last time, what I did last time was to carve out these niches here for the interior, and then we created this pattern inside here, which turned out quite well, I think, with these kind of, everything is kind of offset by one block, and then it creates this skewed kind of hallway that I actually find really nice. Yeah. Identity. What block is that? Oh, you asked about the block, yeah. And another thing I actually want to do for the people listening, I have an idea, and I might have mentioned this last time, last stream, but I've kind of gone a bit further with the concept. But I want to, at some point, invite people on, other YouTubers, other streamers, and maybe I'll finish this build first and then invite people on. But I would like to kind of invite people on. It could be other builders or just other Minecraft YouTubers in general. Just to have, just to kind of do whatever makes sense for that creator. So I'm not gonna name names other than Sandy. You're gonna be there. I don't think you mind me saying that. But we already have a plan for something. It will be something about building. And then for each stream, I will get a new YouTuber or a new streamer on, and you can ask them questions, and I will ask them questions about what they do. And depending on the creator, we might build something together. Maybe tour their builds, tour my builds, or something else, maybe play a game or something. I would probably like to kind of keep it mostly build related, but honestly, I'm not that. I don't want to kind of set a restriction on it, because it's more about just meeting other creators. So I hope you like that idea. Yeah, I think it's a really cool. Yeah, I think it's a really cool idea. Let's see. Yeah, Sandy, I figured that it was okay to mention it. I think I don't want to mention too many creators, because I also don't want to kind of mention other creators, and then it kind of puts a pressure on them, and I don't think that's fair. But we'll see. There are several interested people, and I'm really. I think it's a really cool idea to kind of get to know more people, and so of course Mumbo Jumbo, Green, all of those people will be begging to come on, because that's just how it is. So okay, chats. What creators would you? So if you could have any creator on my stream that I would invite, and you could ask questions to, who would that be? Just name one creator that you. It can be a streamer. It has to be Minecraft. But just name one that you think could be awesome to have on. Beat-ups. Of course, beat-ups. Yeah. Beat-ups is, of course. I think I'll let him on if he is if he really wants to. I'll let him on. I think he. I think I'll say yes to that. Stan, hey, my man Stan. I mean, Stan, he is a machine, isn't he? He can build. When Stan builds, he Stan, he's just building in the editor just so fast. He is a very different kind of builder than I am on that point. I mean, I like to keep everything kind of vanilla plus, so I do use Axiom like a lot of builders do, but I try to keep it a little bit more kind of slow paced. And shovel. Duracell, yeah, that's your friend. Yeah, we met actually on your stream, Dippy. Blue Nerd, definitely Blue Nerd. He is a great builder. I watched him a lot back in the day. So back in the post-COVID years, right after COVID. But he does some awesome stuff. Yeah, I haven't seen much of his. It's been a while since I've seen his video, and I think he also posts a little bit more infrequent. I think. But yeah, he would be a nice guest to have on. Blue Note, yeah. Sandy, you said you would have said Blue Note too. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. So I again, Myth, you mentioned like the modded content and stuff. In general, I just want to get people on that are interesting, and then it's more about that and having like fun together, and just getting to know people, even when it isn't about building. So I would rather do that and then just have fun, and then, I mean, there's also a possibility if I get a person on that isn't, like a creator on that isn't really a builder, that might be a thing that they actually would enjoy, that just one sec, that they would actually enjoy having coming on and kind of learning about building. But yeah, Jarracraft actually commented on the Emberhard Castle video. If you go on that video, you can actually see his comment. It should be, I'm guessing, somewhere on top. But he liked the castle. Jarracraft is awesome. Also a creator I watched a lot back in 21 when I started watching Minecraft Minecraft YouTube content. But yeah, he also is also one of the creators that don't upload that frequent, I think. But yeah, I haven't kept it up. Shadow Mech. I don't know that creator. He does some kind of good builds. Once in a Blue Moon, blah blah blah. Horror and mod packs. Okay, nice. Yeah, I don't know that creator. Unfortunately, there are so many I don't know. Yeah, definitely. So, Sandy, your kind of network of friends, definitely, we can talk about that. It doesn't have to be big YouTubers. It can, or streamers or whatever. Just people that are interesting to bring on. That's more or less it. I don't want to. I mean, it's supposed to be fun. Is Axiom a replacement for World Edit? Or is it just a different mod who have different advantages or disadvantages over World Edit? I would say in a lot of ways it's a replacement. It is much more advanced, but I still use World Edit. So when I'm beginning to texture this build, I will actually not use. I will use World Edit for texturing, and I use World Edit for stuff like. So, just to give you an example, when if I will texture this, I will use the selection command with World Edit, and then use commands to kind of texture different percentages of each block, and use brushes in in World Edit. I think from the way I work, I think it works better. I'm sure people that are really good at Axiom don't need World Edit anymore, but I use both. So for me, they complement each other quite well. But just if you haven't seen Axiom before, it's really convenient. Everything in regards to copying stuff, moving stuff, rotating, flipping, it's really convenient. So you can right and left click on this tower here, just take everything, and then just use the scroll wheel, and you can see the ghost of where it will be. And you can flip it, and you can flip it upside down like so. Isn't this incredible? I mean, it's really, really flexible. So just these functions here, these are so useful. The stacking tool I use all the time. You can select something and then just scroll, and then you have extruded like hundreds of blocks in one go. It's really, 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 really useful. So Myth, you wish you had the patience for chisels and bits. I have heard about that. I know nothing about. I'm guessing it's a mod, right? Maybe you can explain. My Whip, Smallish Bean. Yeah, Smallish Beans. He might be too smallish to get on my podcast. No, of course, all of those people would be nice. I mean, Whip, I did watch him a lot, but I did watch Mythical Swords more. Similar content. Those two, they're also friends, I believe. Yeah, but of course, Whip would be interesting to have on. Definitely. And yeah. I mean, it's there are many good creators, but I do have a list of creators that I want to bring on, and I think are realistic people to bring on. Where it's people that I could get on kind of at the tail end of this build here. Incy would be really cool. I don't know that creator actually. There are so many I don't know. I wish I knew more actually. I think it's just because I don't watch that many anymore. Most of the people I watch was back in before I started the channel with Hermitcraft, stuff like that. Yeah. A1BR, hello, welcome. Andy is Yoda. I've heard that name, but I don't know that. Again, I don't know them. But perhaps, yeah. Definitely sounds like. Or I'm saying definitely sounds like someone I could bring on. I don't know them, so. But if you say they could be relevant or for to bring on, then I believe you. 170k subs. That's awesome. That's about the same as me almost, which is insane to think about in and of itself. It's that many people have subscribed. Yeah, I'm just winging it. Okay, this one. So this one will be a winding staircase. Maybe not even. I'm not even sure what this will end up being, because will this give access to? I probably don't want access to anything here. from this part of the build. So this might just be, the thing is, this should probably have been a bit bigger, but I just really like the idea of having kind of using these small areas on the outside for towers. But then again, it's a lot of material to use for this one, for just a watchtower basically. So maybe this will have a special significance. Maybe there's something hidden up there that's really, really important, that needs to be a bubble elevator. It could be a bubble elevator, but I also like the idea of not accessing this area here other than over from this side. But then again, you would probably want an alternative way of getting up and down. So I think you're right. We probably need something. And there are several ways of kind of adding stuff. I mean, we could use these niches as elevators or something. We could do that, and maybe even, I mean, use some of the underground stuff here. So what do we have? So this is actually inside. So we have the main space here. Then we could kind of use some of these kind of maybe even this part over here as a way of entering, kind of from outside, maybe from outside and then entering in into the mountain in some way. I'm not sure about that yet, but this could actually be a cool way of kind of it's almost a bat cave, right, guys? Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see about that. But I think there probably needs to be multiple ways of accessing the build. From a lore perspective and for just as, from a gameplay perspective too. A single arch connecting big and small tower seems a bit off. Try making another arch in the middle. What do you mean? Oh, you mean have multiple arches here? Perhaps. I think this is something. It's definitely in fantasy. This kind of structure is kind of used a lot. It's actually used a lot. These very slim towers being accessed by a single bridge. But I mean, there could be multiple. That definitely could. If that's what you mean. Or it could connect even, I mean, for this part here, it could connect somewhat down here in one way or another. The other one is watching Wombat, similar building style, equipped, but they still have their differences. Wombat, I can't remember if I've heard that. Just 1 second. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'll have to check up on that. So many of these names, they kind of ring a bell, but I can't quite place them. Yeah. Okay. Let's try and add a bit of detailing to this tower here. So one thing you can do, this is not a revolutionary thing at all. This is just a way of kind of adding detail to smaller towers smaller towers where you don't have enough kind of how would you put it, enough wall in general. I mean, for this one here, you could just have an access point downstairs, or not have an access point at all, but just having a ladder or something. I do like to keep things a little bit more realistic and have winding staircases, which means that this space here is the smallest possible size of that, which means that you would have to use something like wall blocks to add detail, which I think is a good idea. It's almost like half a it's kind of half a block. It's not half a block, but you know what I mean. It kind of gives a bit of depth without compromising the size of the rooms inside. So Brandon, you always wanted to build a bat cave. It could actually be really cool, wouldn't it? But I think the idea of getting people on is really nice for me because it is so a lot of people in this space, they have their own community with the different SMPs they are on. I've talked to creators about this, that yeah, it is quite normal for people to make content around SMP stuff, and in a way a lot of people don't need to expand and get new friends. I mean, they could, but there's kind of they kind of have their community of people, and yeah, I think I never really had that in the same way because of the content I'm making is it is just me making, like, building and making videos, which I love. I mean, don't get me wrong, I definitely don't want to change this at all. I love doing it so much, but then I kind of missed out on meeting people in the same way as other people do. So that is actually why I started reaching out to more people. Like a year and a half ago, I began doing that, which has been awesome because then suddenly you can kind of learn from others and meet other people that in the space that they might not do exactly what I'm doing, but yeah, I think it's really nice to do that. And having a kind of people on a stream, that would be kind of an excuse to meet more people, basically. So I would love that. So try and imagine that everything is textured in a way where everything is... It goes from a gradient from the mountain and kind of a gradient, something like the gradient you see here. So maybe the dirt blocks, they turn to granite, to bricks, and then maybe terracotta, and then mangrove could be a step towards the cinnabar block, and then maybe even having cracks around the build, kind of forming kind of a weatheredness, having these large structures be kind of a bit weathered throughout the years. So one thing I mentioned, like lore-wise, is... Oh, Joshua, you got to head out. Have a good one. Can't wait to see you next build. Thank you so much, and nice having you here. I'm glad you came by. Minecraft music is so nostalgic. It really is. So you guys, for how long have you played? Each of you played Minecraft. What year did you start playing? And in the meantime, the Rich Commie, is it possible for you to do smaller scale collective builds like a fishing village? So I do want to create small builds too. I do want to do that, especially because I have a survival world. I still haven't. I have a build. I'm in the middle of building something in my survival world. When I say in the middle of that, it was over 3 years ago. So, but I definitely want to go back and also do smaller builds. I didn't think so. The concept of this build here was to have something that was approachable, finding a nice seed, but I actually didn't account for how big these mountains were. But what I want to do is making similar builds, but finding mountains that are smaller. So perhaps even something like this or something like this. I mean, you can make something much quicker and have a really nice build that is that blends in with this mountain here. Something like that. This is just a random mountain, right? But there are many ways of creating smaller builds where it still has some majestic quality to it. So people are saying 2016, 2017, 23, 22. Yeah. So a lot of you have been playing for a while. I started in 2011, but then I had a couple of years where I didn't play, and then I got back into playing in 15. And then again, a couple of years where I didn't play, and then back at it in 20 or 21-ish. Yeah. Let's see here. So the stuff I'm doing here is just to create a bit of like rough detailing, just to kind of get a sense of what to do with these details here. I'm not trying to do anything in particular other than just yeah, just trying to see what's possible. Let's move this down a bit, just so it kind of matches the yeah, so maybe even more, because if I want to create something here, something of yeah, I think I would want to create something here. Then I think it's a good idea to kind of move everything down just a bit. So even though I'm a bit I try to keep things a bit kind of not random, but a bit kind of compiled in a way that isn't kind of necessarily logical. I still prefer to have some of it be kind of adhere to certain rules, where kind of certain kind of lines or certain aspects of the building align with each other. I think that's I like keeping kind of some of it a bit regular, if that makes sense. So some of it is a bit more random, but other stuff is a bit more regular. So finding that sweet spot can be, I think, can work quite well. And Myth, you've been playing since 13. That's also a long time. What are you using to build? This is Axiom. Wait, actually, yeah, I mean, we can come back and kind of align this. When the floors inside are added, we might kind of change the stuff we see here. So I usually try to match the outside walls with the inside functionality. So if there's some kind of rest or pause in the structure of the facade, like here, I would usually have that match a floor inside. So there's a coherency there. That's actually a reason why this is here. It's actually because there's access from that level. So I'll definitely try to do that with most of the stuff I'm doing. So the outside and inside, there's kind of you can almost see, without even seeing the windows, you know where all the rooms are placed, more or less. Why do we have to pay for the schematics of the builds? I mean, like anything, I wouldn't expect to kind of get private files from other people's builds. I mean, this having videos, that's one thing, tutorials, stuff like that. That's something I'm gonna share with you guys. But yeah, when it comes to stuff like that, that is kind of my own stuff. private files of stuff I built. And you could say, so that's one aspect of it. Another one is, of course, the so the rich comment so he can eat. I couldn't make tutorials at all if I didn't get anything out of it. It's just, if I had a rich person like the rich commie here pay for all my stuff, then I could do it for free. But it's simply not how the world works. You have to pay for living, basically. So if I didn't earn any money, I would still do it, but definitely not to the extent I'm doing now. It just wouldn't be feasible. This is just the world we live in. Things cost money, so yeah, that is basically it. But it's actually not totally true, because I do give free stuff away, and I do post free stuff. If you know my channel, then you know where to find the free stuff. But it's okay that you asked. Don't feel bad about it. I mean, it's an honest question. I mean, potentially it's a very, very honest question. So it's okay that you asked. But try and look at my channel and some of my videos and tutorials. I do actually post stuff for free sometimes. So I'm just doing a bit of detailing here just to okay. This particular musician, or I'm not even sure it's a team of musicians, but the musician we are listening to is I found that through Mythical Sausage streams. He used a lot of their music, so I had to add it to my list just because it's so nostalgic to me in particular. It reminds me of watching Mythical Sausage and watching him build, and he has such a positive energy about him. I don't know how you feel about watching kind of Minecraft creators in general, but Dayton Blad or Bell. Good afternoon. Hello, welcome. And Sandy, you're back. You are back. So Brandon, you like Emberhard Castle, building? Are you building that right now? By the way, how much for a custom build? I don't do commissions at all. I use all my time to create my own stuff for my own videos, and this is just what I kind of figured I focus my energy on, is to make my own stuff. It's simply, and because everything I'm making takes so much time, I might do it if I had more time, but I don't do any commissions. If that's what you're asking, like custom, when you say custom builds, I'm thinking of commission, stuff like that. So up here, I'm thinking we're gonna have some kind of courtyard up here. So we have our main hall for this part of the build over here, and then maybe a garden or something here could be cool to have. I think this is definitely something we would want. But for now, let's just let's see. Let's add a floor plan here. I don't know where yet, but let's just do it here, and we'll see. what I'm doing. What am I doing? I just stopped building my stadium. Okay. A stadium, that sounds awesome. I've never built a stadium in Minecraft. Just 1 second. I don't build a stadium in Minecraft. I have. I do want to make some kind of Colosseum at some point. People have been asking about that, and I think that could be awesome to try something like that. But I need to find the right kind of, the right build. I'm not sure yet, but yeah, that could be really cool to do something like that. Well, these details are not that important right now. This is just, I'm just kind of, the thing is when you're building, you kind of, at least for me, I try to kind of keep it a bit more rough right now with a lot of the detailing, but then you start kind of looking at it and you kind of want to do just at least a bit of detailing. So yeah, that's what I usually do. I try to kind of switch between doing the rough parts and then go back and zoom in and kind of create a bit of extra detail. On your phone? Are you building on your phone? That's crazy. Novalex, I have built a custom Colosseum in my world. I absolutely love it. I think it's such a good idea to build one. It is definitely. For me, it's just I have so many ideas for builds. I have a long list, and I'm yeah. So it's more about just finding the time to do it. I have this build I'm building right now. That this is of course part of. You could say on my list. I mean, I'm building it right now. Then I have another build I'm working on behind the scenes, a really big one, a different build than anything I've done before. Then I have a big build in mind for Halloween. This will be I'm just hinting at Bloodborne. Then you probably, if you think about Bloodborne and what kind of architecture you see there, you can probably imagine what I'm doing. And then I have 2 more builds for my Norse mythology series, and we're talking about 2 large scale fantasy style builds, kind of Nordic, but it's 2 locations. If you think of 2 locations in Norse mythology, you can probably guess which, at least one of them. But yeah, probably the 2 most iconic locations I want to make. Because then I have 4 builds in that series. I have Freya's Hall and Utgard, and then the 2 other ones. I don't think I want to do this. Instead, let me do this, and then so yeah, I Mount Olympus. That is not Norse mythology. That is Greek, but that sounds cool too. I already did Utgard, but Valhalla. That's not a bad guess. I guess. There's another one that is as that is just as iconic that I'm also doing. Yeah, that's Greek. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, but people on stream, you are the lucky ones that will hear about it now. It is Valhalla and Asgard. We'll make both, but again, it's all of these builds are big, and I have kind of demanding videos for each of them, so it will be some time before they are realized. And then I have a ton of other ideas for other builds to do. So I'm not running out of any content in the near future. Epic. Helheim. Helheim isn't on my list, but it could be. It could definitely be. Actually, you know what? I will add it to the list. Rich Commie. Because people have been asking about a nether style or kind of hellish style build. So I think, you know what? I think it's a logical addition. I'm from Massa. Hey, Six Wings and chat. Hope you're doing well and you have a lovely day so far. I am having a lovely evening here in Denmark, and I'm sure the other guys, I hope they're doing great. Yeah, your mind jumps to Asgard. Yes, for good reason. Okay. The bridge looks magnificent. Thank you so much. That is so nice of you to say. Yeah, I'm. When working on it up close, it's a bit. It feels a bit too. It kind of feels a bit too simple, but then you kind of zoom out, and it's actually not that bad. I think adding texturing in general will help so much with that. Wait, what did I do? What did I do? I copied this one twice. Why is this so weird? Okay. But yeah, I can just zoom out in a moment just to show you guys. Just to show you guys. Let's put on shaders. So just looking at this right now, I don't want much more. I will add more detail up close. I will. Okay, I need glasses for some reason. While this... okay. Now it's back. But just looking at this from down here, I think what this needs is blending and texturing and kind of... because it's very pristine now. It's just one material, more or less, right? So I think it needs a lot of texture. But we'll wait. We'll do this at the end. And I'll just, during one stream, I'll try and texture as much as I can. Hopefully everything. I think that can be done. I don't think it's that, well, I shouldn't. I'm probably speaking too early now, but yeah, I think this is we're definitely going in the right direction. Okay. Let's build a courtyard up here, just as a placeholder. We're not going to do anything other than just laying out the floor here, and then all of this might change. This is just sometimes it's nice just to take some yeah, I mean, how would you put it? I'm missing the word for it. Just make some decisions, kind of just do stuff and then we can always take it back if we don't want it. But just adding this kind of makes it a bit more understandable as to what each of these areas are used for. So here we can even add a wall of sorts. Let's see. Yeah, let's add a wall here. Next, unfortunately, gotta run. Much love, everyone. Thanks for having me, and I'll catch you next time, 6. Thank you so much, Nex. It was awesome seeing you here. So glad you came. I'll see you around. Yeah. Have a wonderful day or evening or whatever you're experiencing. Did you terraform the mountains? Nope. This was naturally found. If you go into the description of any of the bots that are out there of my my streams, you will find a seed and the coordinates, so you can actually I mean, build it. If you are really skilled, you can actually follow along and build it. But yeah, it's meant for. The idea is to use as much as the original mountain as possible. I've terraformed very almost nothing, just a tiny bit. So here, for people that don't know the stacking tool, it has so many uses. So if you select this, you can scroll, and then it will keep making this pattern here. So one block, this is what I showed you earlier. You can take a line of blocks here and then scroll and do this. This is incredible. Just this in and of itself is incredible. So you can do this, and then you have this extruded. But if you do this to multiple blocks, it will remember this unit you are selecting, and it will tile them, basically. You can actually do it in all directions. So you can do this. Look at this. I don't want to do that, but just for fences, things that repeats, it's just so incredible. Look at this. So yeah, definitely worth trying. If you're a builder and you're building in creative, definitely try Axiom. Even though I don't use it all the time, I do tend to want to create my... I try to create my builds for time-lapse videos in... what would you say? I try to do that in a... like manually, to make it more kind of interesting to look at. Which I know is kind of crazy because it takes so much time. Okay. So my goal was to detail everything. I think we can actually... I think it's not that far from being achieved, because the way we're detailing now is more or less, well, it's actually quite simple in a lot of ways, and I don't think I will do a lot more than I'm doing here, other than, of course, texturing. I might add a bit of extra detail with some of these arches and stuff like that, but not that much, really. I don't think so. Okay, let's see. I'm not quite sure. Maybe something like this. Are you going, Nancy? You're asking if I'm going to do the interior. I am. The plan is to build everything in this build. That's the plan. I will see how realistic that is, but I'll definitely do a lot of the interior walls and structures like I'm doing here. I usually, so what I tend to do, and what I prefer doing is to create the inner space as detailed as the outer space in a way where, yeah, you can add furniture, but it's almost the interior is detailed in a way that, just as an example, this hallway here, it's only architecture, so to speak. There's no kind of furniture to speak of, but it almost feels like it doesn't need much. I mean, of course you could add. This is a hallway, so you won't be adding like functional rooms. It's meant to be a hallway that you pass through and you're kind of in awe of the view and stuff. But my point is, I try to kind of create the interior spaces as detailed as possible. Not as detailed as possible, but I try to make them detailed enough so you don't need to add a lot of furniture, so you can actually appreciate the interior space for the decoration that is in the construction and in the build itself. So almost as if it. I'm trying to think of an analogy, but yeah, I definitely enjoy doing that in general. But we'll see how much we can make. I'm not sure yet. I hope I can make everything, build everything on stream, definitely. Okay. I love watching your videos where you talk through the interiors of builds. Which videos are those? Can you remember which ones do you think of? Just maybe if you can remember off the top of your head. Because I think in a lot of ways I haven't been as... I don't usually focus that much on interior in terms of lessons to be learned, because I feel interiors are one of the things that are, while I do enjoy doing them, they're not my strongest suit. I definitely do like to do the buildings, like the architecture of the buildings in general. But yeah, if you don't remember, that's fine too. I was just wondering if there's a particular video you're talking about, or yeah. Okay, let's create. We can either do something like this here. Either something like this, or one big kind of window. Or I think, well, this looks fine enough just as a general kind of way of approaching it. I think I would rather have one large window here. Yeah. Man, I'm following your mausoleum tutorial right now, and after that, I'm gonna one by one integrate all your mega builds into my world. I just want to let you know how I'm really thankful. That is so nice of you to say, Omega. I'm so glad that you are grateful, and I'm grateful that you said that to me. So thank you so much. It's so nice to hear that people are thankful for the tutorials. They do take a long time to make. So hearing you appreciate them makes me happy. Let's see. What are you saying, Myth? Are you saying I don't know how to take praise? Blasphemy. There's no one better at taking praise than I. No, I mean, I'm sure some of you can relate to it. It is nice to get praise, but you also want to be a bit humble when it comes to stuff like that. But I do appreciate it. I'm not sure what I'm doing here right now, because so for stuff like this, I don't know what's gonna be inside yet. So some of these windows might be just kind of niches or alcoves, or not alcoves, but niches that just work as ornamentation, but they could end up just being windows. So for now, this is what I'm doing here is more about kind of laying out some ground rules, or some kind of not ground rules, that doesn't make sense, but some ideas as to how things are going to be detailed, as to what level. Is it night there? No, it's not night here. It's as you can see outside, it's still bright, even though it's almost 9:30. Lawrence Grossman, sub 6 rings. I am right. I am right. No, building the huge. Or are you building right now? Building the huge Japanese castle. Oh, that's awesome. You love it so much. Is it the Autumn Castle you're talking about, or is it Birch Blossom Castle, or what are you referring to? What even is a cinnabar block? It's a new block. Yes, it's a new block. It's this one here. Yeah, they just added it. It's fairly close to mangrove, the mangrove block, but it's just 1 second. It's a bit brighter and a tiny bit more saturated. So right now we are working with a sort of detailing where we have this line here matches the bottom floor of the interior. So the mountain is here, and all of this is filled up. So no, why? I catched it. That's awesome. I'm faster than fall speed. So this part here, that's what I'm trying to tell you. This is the floor. This symbolizes the floor inside here. And we have the main the main space here. This is the biggest space, and this will of course be divided into like further into smaller rooms. And then we have a secondary room here. Same goes here for this room over here. And I think this will be the... Actually, I'm not sure. Is this... Well, I'm not sure yet. This might be... These might just be secondary rooms for storage or other stuff. We'll have to see about that. And then we have... I showed you last time. I just love this very ominous kind of point of view here where you watch the bridge kind of... now it's even darker. Yeah, it's just a lovely, lovely point of view. Very, it makes the build seem so big, I think. Okay, sorry, I was just about to talk about the way I have kind of marked or highlighted each floor level. Not all of them, but some of them. So you can see I have kind of highlighted the upper one here. That is the floor level of the bridge inside. Then we have a level below that and a level below that. And I try to kind of keep them coherent. And then we have the bottom one here. And I think this one here should match something on the other side. Let's just have a look. So this one here, and then we have... Yeah, this one. No, it doesn't match at all. Because it sits much higher on the mountain. So the question is, I probably want to move all of this up a bit. So let's say this part here. Yeah, I'll probably move this up. So it matches the other one here. Yes. I do like to have some kind of coherency when it comes to how these kind of match with each other. So this one, oh, needs one more. Now this one matches this one over here and the other ones. It kind of gives a bit of it gives a bit of, how would you put it? It makes it a bit more. I'm kind of lacking the words I want to use. It brings some calmness to the more kind of irregular aspects of the build. So you have all these towers kind of mixed together, but then some of the stuff is, some of the aspects of the build is kind of aligns in a way that calms everything down a bit. I think I like that building. Yeah, I have missed a couple of questions, I think. Can you use your village upgrade video to build a village from nothing? The village upgrade video is meant as just to build on top of the existing ones. I mean, you could just use them, just build the outer shell of what I'm building, and then don't do the interior. But the concept of it was to create something that was really easy and something that everyone can use, and just reuse what's already there in Minecraft. So yeah, I think that is that was the initial kind of idea. Yeah. Let's see. What do we want? Oh, clicked the wrong one. Let's see. Can we take this part here and perhaps move this over here? Or is that bad? I'm not sure. Because if we have the 2 blocks over here, then it would be on this side. I mean, we could do that and then have we do this and then have a smaller one in the middle here. Let's see. Calef's. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Hello, welcome. Callas. Okay, you are actually you have a shorthand. So Callas, I am Callas. This Discord. Welcome. What is the debug stick used for? So I have never used the debug stick myself, but I hear that it's more like it's a bit like this tool here called Tinker, the Tinker tool. This is built into Axiom, and the way this works is you right-click to change the block state of a block. So you can right-click on this one, and then you can get the ornamentation that you don't otherwise wouldn't be able to have. So you can click on top, then it will expand to the top. So you can use this for all kinds of things. It's the same with the something like the what is it called? The fence block. You can right click and then create kind of ornamentation you otherwise couldn't. And I think the debug stick does more or less this. The nerds in the comment section can in the chat can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's something like that. It's more or less a similar tool, just built into Minecraft. Yeah. Okay, now I am actually a bit well, let's see, let's do this instead. Something like this, maybe. As an opening, so this might be the open. So now it's symmetrical here, and then we can have this opening here. So I know it looks a little bit dull just using one block type right now, but this is, believe it or not, we're still in the beginning phase of this build in a lot of ways. Okay. Yeah, we can always change this later. So what are we missing for as when it comes to kind of the exterior detailing we have right now? I think most of it is actually not that far from done. Just take the texturing, that is very important, I think. But just from a detailing perspective, I think most of it is definitely on its way to becoming closer to the final build. I will be adding more kind of smaller details here, like gates and stuff like that. So I'll probably go around and add stuff like gates here. So it could be something like this, just to give it a bit more. Yeah, I don't know. Stuff like this can add a bit more detail, and maybe some other stuff too. But for now, this is, or this might be kind of the level we're working at. Let's see, what about this guy over here? This guy. I'm not quite sure I want these because I have them over here and I don't think I need them everywhere. I need to figure out which ones. So these kind of well, they're basically gargoyles in a way, very rough ones, but they're supposed to kind of hint at some level of detail that looks like something like a gargoyle. But let's just try and copy this part here over to the other side, and then So Brandon, it is just that I'm building Empire Castle and want to build a village out in front of the bridge that reaches the ground out the front of the castle. So I want to make a forever world with it. Okay, interesting. I mean, I'm sure, because I think the Empire Castle is fairly. I would say it's fairly. When I say generic, this sounds bad. I don't mean it in a bad way, but I think it's fair. It works with a lot of different. I think it works with a lot of different kind of styles of building. Or, of course, if you build something in the Japanese style, it won't fit. But I mean, in a general kind of Minecraft medieval style, I think you can find other. You should be able to find other tutorials to just use them to add to the Empire Castle and kind of get that. I don't know. I think you can definitely try that, and I'm sure there are other builders that have made something that is usable. So just a small a small confession. I haven't used the shelves block yet in any of my builds, but it is actually really cool. So this is the first one I'm actually using. I've seen a lot of people in the comments with favorite builds of you. Do you have a build that is you like the most? It's difficult to say, actually. I do. The Crestling Castle is one of my favorites, probably. I do like the Echelon, and I do like the Sanctum a lot. I also like the Mausoleum, but it's difficult to tell. I don't have. Yeah, it's really difficult. I think that it's like picking which one of your children you like best. You can't do it. It is difficult. I think. So, yeah, I don't know. It's I do like a lot, like most of them, quite a lot. So don't make me pick. Okay, let's see. What is the best build you ever? Okay, well, that's the same question. Yeah. It is difficult. I think. I would love to give you an answer for that, but it is just too difficult. Okay. So I want to do a bit of. I think we should do just a bit of detailing on these pillars up here. I think that would be nice to do. Just a tiny bit. Yeah, that's what I said, Sandy. It's like choosing a favorite child. It's not easy. It really isn't. But I would say there are some of my builds I'm a bit of a simp for compared to others. So I'm more of a simp for Crestling Castle and the Echelon. Both builds that are they might be popular, but they kind of go under the radar of some people, I think. It feels like it, at least. It kind of feels like, just 1 second, I need to see. Okay, so this pillar here is actually built in an uneven number, or uneven size width. I have no idea. Okay, maybe the chat can help you. Myth, can you help, or Sandy, or anyone? Do Do you know how hard it is to find these blocks in survival in Minecraft? I don't know actually. You haven't met someone who have seen Crystalline Castle and haven't fallen in love with it. That's nice of you to say. Yeah, maybe. I mean, perhaps it is really popular. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. There's just some builds I'm a little bit more like. For instance, Emberheart Castle. In a way, it's not one of my favorite builds. Actually, I do like it. I do appreciate it, and a lot of people like that build. I think it's quite popular. I feel like it has a bit too much of, just a tiny bit too much of a Disney castle feel to it, in my opinion. When I made that build, I made it up on the spot. I made a quick sketch and then just went nuts. And that means when you're going nuts in that way, you can sometimes be a bit too overindulgent with the way you're building towers. And one thing that is kind of good sometimes when it comes to building castles is to have at least a bit of restraint. And I'm not saying I don't like Crystalline Castle or Emberheart Castle. I do like it. It's just that it's out of my castles, out of that one and Crystalline Castle and the monastery, I think I like the other two more than Emberheart Castle. But yeah, again, this is just my own preference, and again, it's not that I dislike it. It's just relative to the other ones, I probably like them a bit more. See, what I did here was to redesign these to be smaller. I don't like building in even numbers. So Dasha, one of my mods, she's not here right now, but she would give me a hard time when it comes to that, because I'm a bit of a stickler for uneven numbers. It's just much easier to design around that, I think, compared to even numbers. That's just me. I'm not saying you should do that too. I just really enjoy or prefer building in uneven numbers. Can you show your sketchbook on stream? Maybe your favorite sketch? This is one of my sketchbooks. I also need a drink or some water. So some of these sketches are sketches from I actually showed on stream, but some of them are quite. So this one here, this is a sketch I made for my survival build. I made 3.5 years ago. I haven't finished it yet. So if you look closely, this tower here isn't done yet, I believe, but this tower over here is in the video. I'm not sure I'm going to build it this way. It's a bit stereotypical, but I do like the design. These are kind of ideas ideas to create more regular. How would you put it? So I try to redesign round shapes from real life and adapt them into Minecraft in a way that's more geometrical. So you can see this one over here. It tries to kind of, so this part here is this part here is like 45 degrees, and then the rest is at a kind of a 90 degrees basically. So it's made in a regular way that is that kind of falls into a more easy way of approaching building in Minecraft. Stuff like this where I try to map out how to create a section you can repeat for all corners. But yeah, I have different kinds of sketches. This is actually ink, but I used a pencil and water to kind of almost use it as watercolor. Some sketches here. Just some windows, stuff like that. If you've seen the Golden Palace, then you've seen these sketches here. Those are, I made this sketch and then I recreated the build as good as I could out of from this sketch here. So it's actually the original sketch I made before building. Some ideas for future builds. This is an idea for adapting the mausoleum for another kind of creation. The rest is spoiler territory. But yeah, I had what do I have? I had some other stuff, but some of my watercolors are a bit out of reach. I would have to get them. Thank you, Aishan, saying you think they are amazing. That is nice of you to say. Yeah, I mean, it's I do enjoy just using pen and ink, just only value, so you have really harsh shadows. I really love sketching that way. It's really nice. But yeah, well, I can show my sketches at another time. I will get them for next stream. I don't want to leave. Are you ever going to work on a long-term build project like KXifer? I have spoken to KXifer. He's an awesome guy. I want to bring him on. He's really, really talented with his church builds. Awesome. I mean, I would say that my builds are usually long-term. So the one I'm building behind the scenes right now is really, really big, and it's I mean, it's months and months of work. It will take a long time to build. So in that sense, I don't think it's... yeah, I do believe that I already do that. I mean, Utgard was 2 months of full-time work. 1 month for the time-lapse and building, and 1 month for the short film at the end. So I would say I do create... My builds are generally very much long-term. Yeah. Very much long-term in general. Let's see here. What am I doing? What is this? What is this? Yeah, just placeholder detail. We can change this later. Does anyone know if the birch blossom cast seed still works? It should work. I mean, I don't think the seeds haven't changed that much. Or maybe some of the other people can tell you if... Because there has been some changes in the new version of Minecraft, but I don't know. I still think you can. I mean, seed-wise, you can use the same. I'm pretty sure you can. But yeah, Sandy, maybe Sandy or Myth or some of the other ones can give you a better answer. But yeah, I miss sketching. I'm actually a bit. I haven't done it in a while, and because this build here, I'm not using any. Well, I did the sketch you saw in the first stream, but it's like a Photoshop sketch. It's not the same. And for the new build I'm working on behind the scenes, I haven't sketched that because it's a really big build. I'm not about to do that. So in that sense, I haven't really been using like sketching for anything I'm doing here a lot lately. So I do miss it really. I love doing it, especially with watercolor. That's awesome. I've talked about this before on stream. I think it's a really good medium for sketching in general. Okay, I think this is actually okay for... so I do... Okay, let me copy this and then we can see how much we... because I wanted to do some sort of... some sort of... what do you call it? A tower on this side that is taller than anything else in the build. And the reason why I wanted to do that was because of this slimmer profile of this castle over here compared to the main one on the other side. I can show you in a bit. So just to look at it from here, from this side it looks natural. I think there's kind of a balance to it in a way that looks fine in my opinion. But from the other side over here, you can almost see how a bit unbalanced it is from this side, just from this profile. So I find that if you don't have the opportunity to add volume in width, you can add it in height. So instead of having a kind of a wide castle like over here, we can create a tower here that kind of comes up in the middle. So this is what we're going to do now. Just a something simple. I'm not sure yet. Let's try and take this tower here just as a placeholder, or just as a... sorry if you've spoken about this already, but how do you name your builds? So for this build, this is called the Bloodstone bridges. I was thinking about just Bloodstone bridge, but I think the Bloodstone bridges has a more mysterious feel to it, and there are multiple bridges. We have maybe I'm going to add one more even, but we have multiple bridges, so I find it fitting. But yeah, it's basically just a combination of having the red kind of cinnabar stone that blood is red, and then the bridge aspect of it. And then I kind of saw the just 1 second. So from last time I added the blackstone underneath here, and this blackstone underneath, it almost feels like it is kind of digged out of the ground of the mountain here. It spills over. You can almost see it here, right? And to me, this looks like my kind of intuition with this is that, and this goes beyond Minecraft, of course, because this is just mud. But in my kind of the lore way of thinking, I think that these blocks you see here, that is in my lore headcanon called some kind of bloodstone that is very, very dark and is used for kind of the underside, but then you can polish it and then it kind of reveals this red color. So it's kind of red inside, and the reason why I think that is simply because of how you think about blood. It's something that's been beneath the skin. So you have the cover that is dark, and then the blood kind of spills through the cover or the skin or the stone. So that's why Bloodstone was kind of just as the thought process of having this red stone revealed. But yeah, I think it depends on the build in general. So the Awesome Castle had a bit of a allusions to kind of, in a way, something Japanese, but of course also the color scheme of the castle itself and the trees that are there. But yeah, it also had a kind of mysterious feel to it. The Dragon Palace was obviously a Chinese-inspired thing, because dragons, I kind of get the association with Chinese kind of culture. And Crestling Castle, you have two crests that are linked in a castle. So that was kind of obvious to me. Yeah, maybe you can tell me another thing, Emberheart Castle. I did that with in collaboration with a musician on YouTube that does music for like role-playing stuff, and they approached me. They wanted me to create a castle, and they could create a song for that. And the theme you hear in the beginning of that video is created for the build. It was made for the build. I would like to do more collaboration with them in the future, but they gave the musician on the team chose the name Emberheart Castle, and then I went back and added that aspect of Ember to the lore of the castle, where you see me, my character, walking up and exploring the castle, and then you have the Ember Heart at the top, kind of the heart of the castle. So that was kind of weaved into the lore of the build afterwards. After they gave me the name of the castle. Yeah. Oh, actually, they gave the song was named Emberheart Castle, and I took the name of the song and, of course, called the castle Emberheart Castle. Yeah. But maybe you can ask me which name, because it depends on the project. Some projects are called it really depends. Yeah, definitely. Just ask if you have a particular one you're thinking about. Then I'll happily tell you. I can give you another one. The Echelon. It was partially inspired. There are two builds that inspired that one. The first one was Dresden, the cathedral in Dresden. And the other one was the one in Venice. And the one in Dresden has Dresden, as they say in Germany. It has kind of multiple kind of layers of balconies inside, and my kind of oh, we reached height limit. Okay, let's see. Let's just measure from here and see. Okay, this is actually... Okay, we actually reached height limit. I thought we had more space, so this is actually height limit. I mean, see how big this is. I didn't think it would be that that soon, actually, but it is quite... yeah. It's actually impressive. Okay. So the Echelon was... I took that kind of idea of having these layers, and then, because Echelon well, it means we use it in the upper echelons, the upper layers or levels. It's actually, I think it means ladder, but it means kind of levels and I kind of weave that into the narrative of that video where my character walks up and you have this order of occult members of this church kind of doing a ritual where they're almost like they're chanting in a circle inside the cathedral, and they are all of them are kind of placed, or they're standing on these different layers, and so the order is called the echelon, which is kind of refers to the different levels of this order, basically, and then the cathedral is called that. So yeah, that's just how I came up with that. So yeah, it is. It really depends on the build. I will do a quick little thing here. Let's see. Let's do a bit of. Yeah, and so it goes with a lot of builds. It's just it really just depends on what it's for and what do you have a playlist for all the background songs you use in your videos and live streams? I have a playlist on, so this playlist is running from Spotify, but all of the songs, excluding the Minecraft songs, are from my subscription from Epidemic Sounds, which is where I get all my music for all my videos. But I have it just for convenience sake. I'm using it in. I'm using it in. What am I trying to say? Oh wait. I'm using it in. For convenience sake, I'm using it in Spotify instead. Let's see if this works. It might work. I'm not sure. I think this could actually work. Let's see. Well, I mean, in a way, you would want this kind of room to be kind of open, but in a way, I like it. I think it's okay for this one to be closed off, so you have a structure kind of forming underneath and kind of carrying this tower on top. I think that could be cool. But for now, we'll just build the exterior and then see how it goes. But yeah, I have a playlist, and I can share that playlist perhaps. I could do that. Although I don't know how to share playlists. Yeah, that's probably an easy way to do it in. I don't know. I'm just, well, maybe not use them there. For this one, let's try something else here. A thing I like to do, just to that might give you some inspiration, is to create sort of false shapes of rooftops. So if you look at some of the rooftops I'm making for some of my so just to give you an example, if you want to make a spire, instead of doing something like this, where you kind of follow this, this is a small one, but this just to get the point across. So instead of doing this, And I do this too, but instead of doing this and then having it taper off in a kind of nice and clean way, and then maybe you'll use some wall blocks the way up and something like this, and then this would probably work better in a larger scale, but this is just to get the point across what I'm trying to say. But I sometimes enjoy not trying to replicate a shape from the real world that isn't, because this shape on a real spire, this would be this here would be like smooth. You would have this, and I think it works great here. But what you can do instead is to kind of fragment it into more of a. Well, actually, now that I look at it, I actually kind of like it, guys. Am I debunking myself in real time? What a noob. You know what? We'll try 2 different versions and then see. But just to kind of finish my point, what I meant was you could do something instead of kind of relying on trying to make something that in the end should look smooth. You could do something where you kind of fragment it in a way where, well, then maybe you do this and then fragment it in a way where there are gaps in between, so it forms more naturally. I don't know. I don't have a good example of showing you this, but because I need a bit more space to show you. But sometimes you can make something that is a bit more almost abstract. But if you look at it as a whole, it does look like a spire, but it just isn't as. I think what I'm trying to tell you is that sometimes building something like this, it kind of reveals that you're trying to make something that is supposed to be smooth, if that makes sense. So sometimes it's nice to kind of, instead of doing that, then just go with the idea of maybe a bit like I did up here, like where it's a amalgamation of smaller kind of towers and spires, and then it creates something that is, I know this is a kind of a different type of spire, but yeah, I will do a video about that, and maybe I can form my thought process a bit better, because it kind of need a different example to show you what I actually mean. Whoa. Uh, 2.5 hours, Sandy, yeah. It looks awesome. You're saying it looks awesome. Thank you, Sandy. Oh, you mean that I reach world height limit? So I can't go higher than this. This is the height limit. So I would need a data pack to go higher than this. So this is the tallest that I can make it. I wanted to go higher than this. Yes, I wanted to. But hey, Rosenkreuz, welcome. Okay, quickly, I'll make 2 versions of this, and then then the chat can tell me what they like, and I'll probably say the opposite. But it's fun to hear your opinion on it. Let's see. Let's do this, and then. Okay, for the first one, we'll do something like. Okay, just 1 second. I'll just finish what I wanted to do, and then I'll show you the 2 versions I have in mind. Just rough versions. Do I need something else like a rod? Probably, Brad. Okay, just for now, this is fine. And then this will delete this part here. And so now we copy this part for all 8 towers, basically. Let's do it on this side first. And yes, okay. And now we can actually just copy this part for over here and over here. Oh. And over here. So before you, okay, let's have a look and see how it looks. So I like this right from the get-go, this part here, something like this. I like that. But let's try and check out the other one and see how this looks instead. So instead of having this part here, I've seen many of your videos. Amazing builder. Thanks for showing your builds. Thunder Rose, thank you so much and welcome. Yeah, that's really nice of you to say. I'm building the monastery right now, Candice Mitchell. That is awesome. Yeah, I hope you. I hope it's not too difficult. Okay, let's see. This might actually just be fine. I think I will go for a. Okay, just to keep this. So I would probably just, by looking at this, I would probably have these towers be a bit more like these up here. So I might actually, I don't want to do too much at this point, but let's see. Let's try just to add this part here and then just to the top. We don't have to do it all the way down. Well, not here. And then we need to add maybe one of these blocks here. And just to add a bit of kind of a gradient, just not much. I think this is good enough. And then we need this one, and let's add, let's just add this one here. Well, it's too much. It's too much. It's too much. Not at this point. We don't need that this much. Okay. Guys. I'm being a bit nerdy with this, so. You look nothing like I thought you would. Amazing. Okay, explain to me how did you think I looked? I want to know now. And be careful of what you say. I'm judgmental when it comes to my appearance. Oh, you're all thinking I look like a... I don't know what you thought. Okay, maybe I shouldn't keep digging in that. Okay, let's try something quickly before we make the comparison. Other than that, I didn't picture the beard. It's not much of a beard. Just a tiny bit. Okay. Of course, my yeah. Okay. We can always make fun of people that doesn't have the amount of hair they used to. But yeah, of course, my character isn't modeled like myself. I did kind of think about, should I go with more of a kind of because I'm Danish, so like a kind of a Viking, and I did used to have more of a beard, a bit of a fuller beard. So, but then again, then I would look like any other kind of this. There's so many of these kind of Viking-looking. How would you put it? You actually look pretty much like I imagined, calm and friendly. Okay. So someone thought younger, another thought older. That's interesting. Younger? Are you saying I don't look young? What is that? What is that? Are you coming here to insult me? Okay, guys. Okay, have a look. This one or this one? What do you like the most? So this is number one. Number one with the smaller spires. It's a bit more subdued. And the bigger spires. Small spires or big spires? I can't decide, actually. In a way, I mean, this looks kind of cool, doesn't it? How would you think that I'm a teenager? I mean, do I sound like a teenager in my videos? And when I speak, I'm saying I'm an architect, and I talk about when I first built my first build in 2011. I mean, if I were a teenager, then I would have been like, I don't know, 2 years old when I made my first build. I prefer the taller ones, Dippy. Dippy, you are... I probably prefer the taller ones too. I do like both. I have only heard your voice. Thunder Rose, you have heard my voice, yeah. You know what we could do? So in the same way as when so this is an out there analogy, but when John Williams made the theme song to Indiana Jones, he had 2 different versions, and Steven Spielberg liked both. So they ended up using both versions for the song. One is kind of the main version, and the other one, so and then the other one is so it's a variation of the same one, and they just used both for different parts of the song. So this is what I'm gonna do now with this detail here. I'm simply taking this the one I'm not gonna use here and using it somewhere else, or try to at least. So if you take this part here and use this over on the other, I'm not sure it's gonna fit, but let's try and see. Just for the towers here, let's have a look and see if it works. So this one here might not work for because I probably don't want something on the inside here, or do I? I'm not sure. This is a good question, but I could do something. Well, oh, you know what? For now, let's just remove this part here, and we can add more of this if we want to. Let's do that. It does feel like it needs to dome to me. I know it does. It feels like a thing. I could add that too, and I might do that, but I don't want this to be just another. I don't want this to be just another crystalline castle with kind of with domes. And the original sketch was without domes. I might do one here, perhaps, but we can still have this part. I'm just going to show you what I mean. We can still have this here with and still have a dome. So it's not. It doesn't negate the possibility. Yeah, Donnie Marco, you said that it adds a bit more mass with the big ones, and I think you're right, and I think you can just take a look again, just to have a look and see the difference here. So you're definitely right, because here, for the one on the left, you kind of have the shape goes up and then it kind of tapers up in a more of a narrow shape, and the other one is almost feels like what I wanted to kind of describe earlier. If you have multiple towers, then you can actually create something that kind of, in a way, just by adding something in the kind of in between, you could almost kind of create something that looks like one big tower, but it's kind of fragmented into several smaller ones. I don't think I want to do that, but I'm just saying that might be a possibility. Yeah. Hey, Sophia, welcome. They're talking about that they didn't expect me to look the way I do. And I said to them, I'm so sorry I disappointed you. You can't please everyone. Let's see here. I would perhaps like. Oh. Oh, thank you. The bridge is definitely beginning to take shape in a way that I'll show you in a bit. So definitely stay around just a bit longer, because I am right about to kind of create the finish. Nothing is really finished, but I am. It says, you, Sophia, you finish. Sorry for my dad jokes. I wanted to say that my goal was to kind of finish the exterior, and in a way I will do this in this stream, but only from a certain angle, and it won't be done. It's just, I mean, it's just, I mean, it looks like the exterior is almost finished. What happened? Okay. And now we need to take these here. Just as part of the tower here. And hit it again. Okay. And then in a bit I'll show you the how it comes together, because I think using this over here what did I do? Did I... Okay. I think this is correct. It's just I just need to do a bit of adjustments. Paco, or Pacho, I'm back. What's up? Hello, welcome. Yeah, we are still at we're still building. Yeah, I'm trying to kind of come up with a kind of a design language that works for both these two kind of... we have the tower over here and this one over here. This needs to be taller and slimmer, and this one is lower and wider. So it kind of balances itself out in a satisfying way. Let's see here. Maybe this is okay for now. I think it is. Yeah. So now what we need to do is to... So this one over here is a flipped version of this one, which means that if we take this tower here and copy it, we can copy it over here. It's the same one as this one, just mirrored. So this should fit with this one here. Yes, exactly like so. And then we have this one in the middle here. So let's just try and let's try and delete this first, and then yes, let's do this. Oh. Yeah. Let's try this first. Let's just make this clean and then see how everything looks. So let's take this this tower here and just taking this part first, and then we can... Yep, okay. Oh wait, we actually do need to add these. And now I'll connect one of them and then copy that to the other one, because this arch here should be the same as this one here. And it can always be a bit tricky to do this when you're doing this in this kind of angle as we're doing here. It kind of can be a bit obnoxious to work with. Let's do this instead and see. Okay. yeah, I never really feel satisfied making arches that are this kind of crooked. I don't like it. It's just a personal thing. I don't. I'd rather make it more clean and almost just make it a bit more simpler. It's just a pet peeve of mine when it comes to building. Maybe let's see, what if we do this instead, and this might actually work okay, I think, just for this up here. Let's try this just for now. We can change it later. So let's just copy this for the other one, and then we have all the designs. Everything is just a repeat of everything else. So this one will be here. So we just need to rotate this and flip it, and now it should fit. Let's see. Like so. And now we have 1/4 of the entire entire kind of structure here. And then we just need to copy it 3 more times. And now, let's see. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, we need to remove a bit of maybe 1 block or 2. Let's see. This one here. And this one here. And okay, let's check this out. So we might add, a I mean, I think it's coming along nicely. I could add a dome over here, but I wanted to try and not do that, basically just to make it a bit different than something like the like Crystalline Castle, where it has domes all over the upper buildings. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe 1 dome is fine. And now it should be a bit more balanced, because as I showed you from the other side, it is much narrower over here, and I would have liked this to be taller just to balance out this wide part of the castle over here. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's okay. It doesn't have to be completely balanced. Yeah, I think it's beginning to actually look quite nice. And then I think texturing the build will just will help a lot, just to bring out the just to give much more life to. I mean, it's basically just 1 block and a couple of kind of highlighting blocks and shadowy blocks, but other than that, it's really just cinnabar blocks and not much else. If you press F3 and D to remove chat, what do you mean remove chat? I'm not sure what you mean. Are you talking to another one? In Minecraft, yeah? So F3 and D, I don't have an F button. I need to make a shortcut. I don't know how. With all the shader toggle. So what do I achieve by doing that? What do you want to achieve? I mean, I can remove the HUD, but the chat, I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure what you mean. But yeah, I think we could do a bit more. I still want to do. I wanted to do all of this also over here. But yeah, when you press T, all the text can be removed. It's fine. Just was an FI. But I'm just not sure what text you're talking about. There's no text. Are you mean? Are you talking about in the chat? Ah, you're talking about. But yes, but somehow it doesn't work. Doesn't matter. You can show me another time. The Minecraft messages from a scheme. I can see what you're saying. Okay. So what you mean is you can do this, and then. Okay, I'll try another time. It's fine. Oh, one thing I probably want to do just to finish the kind of exterior in general, just for this stream here, is to. I want to finish this part up here, just the upper part, because I want some kind of walkway. I'm not quite sure how it's going to look, but I do want some kind of walkway like this one here, and I think it has to be an open space where you kind of walk on top, and then you. It's getting late. It's getting late in the stream. His mind can't focus on building at this point. What are you talking about, Myth? Shut up. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think because the way it's built, everything is kind of offset in a way that's kind of a bit irritating. I think for the way I've made it. I might actually go ahead and. Okay, just 1 second. Let's see. Let's see. What happens if I. If I move this over here, then it will be on this side for over here. I mean, I'm tempted to actually do this. So let's see. Okay, let's try this. Okay, I will remove just all of these just for now. And then I will okay. Let's see. Okay. Imagine trying to multitask at looking at the stream, looking at the chat, and trying to build my own build all at the same time. That's very true, Sophia, and especially if you have kind of obnoxious people like Sandy and Myth kind of nagging me all the time, then I'm kidding. It's all in good fun, but it is kind of yeah, you have to get used to it. It's I definitely build a lot faster when I'm building by myself. The stress for me was rough when I first started. Now I sit on my couch 2 minutes before streaming and then go to my PC. It's just easy. I can definitely empathize with that, Sandy, because first time I was really nervous up until because I just didn't know if am I doing something wrong? Am I even, will everything just crash? There's so many things, and showing my face for the first time, all these kinds of things, and yeah, and so from each consecutive, hey, Jusilia, welcome, hello. From each like this is the 5th or 6th stream, maybe 6th stream. It has been less and less. I've been less and less nervous before up until starting the stream, because it's quite easy in a lot of ways to just the technical part of it has become much easier. So yeah, I definitely think people that can build really fast and interact with the chat, I think that takes a lot of practice, definitely. So yeah, it is impressive. Let's see. Six streams, he does. He streams very much so. Yeah, I'm almost. I'm. It's not too long until. But hey, Jusilia, you have to see what I'm doing here. I just remove this for now. You know what? I will. Okay. Look at my build. So imagine some texturing, and then so Gisela, you're saying you've been streaming for over a year now, and I still can't build fast and read chat. Man, I still can't even read chat probably. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's tough. It is tough. But you know what? It doesn't have, I don't think it needs to be fast or anything. I think it's fun to just take it slow and just have a good time. That's the most important part. You know what? I don't want to do this. I want to do something else. I want to create a okay, let's try this instead. And now with this one here, now we can use the same principles as down here, where we just we have sections that are just offset by one block and all the way across. I think this will look better. than trying to kind of make it. Well, this does. Just a second. Sure, maybe we can add another layer. The spikes are epic. Thank you, Josie. Thank you. They are epic. I agree. Okay, let's try and see here. A lot of these details are kind of stand-in details that I might change later. It's just to have something that works. So Dippy, you struggle with multitasking too? Yeah, I mean, it's I think that's pretty normal. I suppose it is. Okay, I think something like this would actually work. And then if we're doing this, maybe we don't need to have them be... let's see here. Okay. This one section here should be enough to... Let's see. So let's just have a look and see how it looks from afar. I think this could look quite nice. Dippy, sleep well, and nice of you to join. I'm so glad you came. Hopefully, I'll see you next time we stream. I'll be finishing this part up here, and then we'll wind down. And while we do this, I will quickly just talk about the idea I'm having for later streams. Not just quite yet, but soon. When this build is done, perhaps I want to create a series of streams where I invite other YouTubers and streamers on. It will be called 6 Meets and then the name of the creator. And this series will be about inviting these people on and then simply doing something together that makes sense for that creator. That could be something like just 1 second. I just need to see if we can see everything from down here. Okay, doesn't matter. So Sandy, I have already said to you that I will 6 meets, yeah. But it was lovely listening to you while I was also building and creative. You have a lovely way about you and a great sense of humor. I have never heard that before. I always hear my humor is terrible. But thank you for saying so. I appreciate it. The 6 brand is evolving, Sophia. That is true. So I already have like several people that wants to come on and for my stream. And as I said to you guys earlier, of course, the Mumbos and the Greens of the world, they will come too, of course. Blue Nerd. Who else do we have? All of them. All of the big ones will come, of course, and join me. Hopefully, at some point. But until that time, I will definitely have. So Sandy will come on. There might be another one in chat, perhaps. I'm not naming names. Another person that also might come and join. And then that stream will be about, well, primarily the other creator and what they do. I will ask questions and kind of and just talk about what they do in general on their channel with streaming or whatever they are doing. And I think that could be really, really fun. A fun little project to do. And it's just a stream like this one, like depending on how much time they have. It could be 3 hours, it could be less. I mean, it depends on the creator. But yeah, I mean, I'm trying. I will probably try to keep it mostly kind of build focused, because that's my kind of the thing I'm doing most of. But I don't want it to be. It's not the most important aspect of it. I definitely want to just have fun and meet people and just have different creators on, and yeah, just connect with people and just talk with them about what they are doing with their channels and with their work in general. Yeah, a new series for the future at some point. I think, yeah, we'll have to see when, but yeah, it depends on if I want to finish this thing here first, or yeah, or if I want to start the series even before that. I might do that. So for now, we're just going to do this. I know I can't do this. That looks terrible. This is just, again, a placeholder. I'm not... just one second. Actually... Wait. You know what? What if I... In a way, I think it could be fun to move this. I don't know if anyone else has tattoos, but I just did the thing forgetting it was there, and I thought it was a spider. I don't have tattoos, but I'll probably do the same. He has streaming friends who can stream with, like me, Josie, a few people, Blue Note beat-ups. Mumbo and Green confirmed. Yeah. Of course, Mumbo and Green are confirmed. No, they aren't. I don't want to be sued, so I don't know if they probably won't sue me, but it could be fun to have these guys on. I'm not holding my breath just yet, but okay. I'll just copy this one here, and then we can always change this later. I'm not sure yet. Not sure yet. But now let's try and quickly just copy all of this here in just to I like to see builders that I don't already know about. So there are a lot of builders or YouTubers in general that I don't know about. So I think that would probably be easy enough because because there are so many that Okay, and then the final one here. Let's see if we can get this to work. The way it kind of connects over here might make this a bit different. And then it could be, depending on how we want this to be shaped, I could probably see this part be, we could have like tiny arches going over on top. Hey Nero, hello! I'm actually winding down, so you're just in the nick of time before I close off. But yeah, this will be kind of I mean, look at the scale of this when you look at it like this, how big it is. This is kind of incredible. And then of course these rooms will be decorated later, like this one here. But yeah, I think for this stream, I think this is good enough for now. But yeah, it's almost 11 o'clock. I need to stop now. Just in a second. You know what? I'll have this here. Maybe have the change this a bit so we have a bit better view. And yeah, guys. I will be streaming the same time next week, I think. So there's summer holidays coming up. I'm not quite. There might be one time during the next couple of weeks where I'm not streaming, and I'm not sure if I'll postpone or just not stream that day or just find another date. It depends. It depends on how long I'm away for holidays. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, other than that, I will try to stream as regularly as possible. And thank you so much for coming. And yeah, if you have any last question, ask me. But other than that, I will leave you in a bit with the outro as always. But thank you so much for coming, and thanks for all the questions and so on. I was wondering if you've seen my build fortified bridge. No, I don't think so. I don't think I have, but post it on the Discord, and then I can have a look. I think that could be an awesome idea. But guys, I will be winding down now. So yeah, thank you so much, and I'm so grateful for all of you guys being here, chatting with me and watching my videos. But yeah, it was fun. I'm so tired, but I had fun, definitely. So yeah, and on cue, the song is done. So awesome. Okay, guys, see you soon. You're awesome. Looking forward to building the rest of this build, and looking forward to inviting people on and all of that. But yeah, have a nice day, night, morning, wherever you are. And thank you so much.